A couple years before iReceptor Plus, the iReceptor team got together at Simon Fraser University and built this gateway to query these really important data sets of antibody, B-cell receptors, T-cell receptors that are very critical to developing new vaccines, new autoimmune therapies, new cancer therapies. And then we had this going, but we had taken it forward a couple years, and then you and I joined forces and applied to the Horizon 2020 program. It is very connected with the AIR community. That's a really grassroots initiative to bring immunologists and bioinformaticists together to develop standards for sharing and curating these huge data sets. People are producing these huge data sets, but they're storing them in different silos where they can't talk to each other, they can't be compared. The AIR community has worked since 2015 to develop standards to allow researchers to look at data sets. They may be studying ovarian cancer, but they want to compare it to data sets on other ovarian cancer studies or other types of cancers, or even control individuals. And that we facilitate sharing those data across different labs, different diseases, different institutions. It's all about data sharing and reanalysis. I think without the iReceptor Plus, we never would have taken the gateway as far as we've taken it, but then also all these extra functionalities like security, adding security. Right before that, the iReceptor was always only with public data, but we're trying to bring biopharma into using these standards and other ultimately clinical data, where of course it will have to be very secure data, and we've developed that. And then your group and Victor's group on machine language and AI approaches, I don't think that would have ever happened. And then a lot of the new single cell development, which is so important, but takes a lot of work. The new money through EU is really important in that regard. Well, I think it's true that so many diseases, you say any disease with an immunological component, well, pretty much any disease, pretty much anything. But I think one of the exciting aspects are the novel cancer immunotherapies, where people are developing these therapies that will a cancer might suppress the immune system and escape the immune system, but we're developing these therapies where we fool that and we turn the immune system back on, and then it starts attacking the cancer because it's a kind of a foreign tissue. And in many cases, these have been amazing therapies, but maybe 30-40% of the individuals don't respond to the therapies, and nobody really knows why. And people are looking very carefully at T-cell repertoires or B-cell repertoires to try to predict who might respond to these immunotherapies. And that's really important because the therapies cost $100,000, and you don't want to be applying them to people that aren't going to be able to respond. And sometimes they have adverse reactions. You want to avoid that. So that's one area I think that these type of data will be really important for. I do believe it'll be happening, sooner. Again, these, like the immuno-oncology, the cancer treatments, they're so expensive that I think that we will be using these data to predict who's going to respond and to target personalized medicine. I think that a lot of the future is going to be around personalized medicine, and these repertoires they talk about them as being a fingerprint. They can personalize the individual very carefully. So I think it'll be very soon, yes.